process, and even follow-up. But today is to pull the whole thing together, which you've called the way of the networker. Can you explain that title?
Good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're watching us from. Yes, today we will be wrapping up the whole week in a summary. And also, I aim to put something on top of this because, as I said yesterday and the day before yesterday, probably every day of this week, what you are about to commit to is a lifelong exercise. It's not any pastime activity, not something you would do on a day you feel doing so. Networking is a commitment for life. You would never ever be able to say who you will meet, what's going to come out of this meeting, and what are the real possibilities when you would invest your time and effort into nurturing these relationships. It is absolutely mind-blowing. There's no way to say what will happen. As we spoke yesterday with Nick Blanchard, head honcho of Zoco, when you go out networking, what kind of a problem you will come across, you have the tools, the expertise to solve. And you will suddenly see an opportunity. This is the thing. This is the forever variable in your life. Get along with it, accept it, and get the most of it.
But the most important thing you'll be looking for won't necessarily be, in fact, most of the time, isn't opportunities for you. It'll be opportunities to help other people. And you need to get your mindset into the place where that's what you're looking for. Not looking for opportunities where you can suddenly make a quick buck. You're looking for opportunities to build relationships to help others.
Absolutely. The whole business stands on one and only rule. Whatever you do, first it has to serve your clients. Only then it should serve you. Otherwise, there's no longevity. There's just an opportunity you may be able to take advantage of. Once the opportunity is gone, you will abandon this thing. It will crash and burn because you have not come at it from the perspective of, I will solve this problem for people and I will continue serving them because it doesn't serve me anymore. I'm not getting enough money. I'm not getting what I want, recognition, all sorts of things you can think of. This is pure opportunism. It's no business.
As any good sales trainer will tell you, and I'm sure Peter will agree with me, the worst kind of sale are the one-offs. I sell you one cartridge, I sell you one cleaning product, I sell you one service. That's not a good sale. What you want is to sell them a concept, an idea, and have them buy into you, your ethos, your background, your mode of working, so they'll keep buying from you. It doesn't become the fact they're buying from you. It comes from the fact that they want to continue building and elongating a relationship with you. So if you need to clear your mind out of how quickly can I make that buck, and realize that this is a process. You repeat the process with lots of different people, and that process you need to think of as enjoyable. I think if you don't enjoy networking, you'll find yourself just becoming bitter. You need to look for ways that you can enjoy it. And the best way is just by getting to know people.
Yes. And we spoke about this a few days ago, where we discussed that by going after the immediate opportunity, you are missing the trick, because the real value is long way down the road. And if you never take that road, you would never ever be able to see and get what's down there for you. So don't be an instant gratification monkey. Invest into relationships. It will pay off in multiples of what you will invest in. Just be patient. Know that this is the game. This is how it works. And good things will come back to you. So
I thought what would be very useful if you wouldn't mind. And I know we've done this a couple of times before, but if we could just revisit going from day one all the way through to day 2, 3, 4, and 5, and pull it all together and tie it all up in a nice, neat bundle, Peter, as I know only you can.
Yes, well, this day is precisely about this. So, all right, if you have not watched us from day one, from Monday, you haven't been with us, this is what we started with. The topic for day one was your network is your net worth. It represents a collective buying power of all of the individuals you are able to put into this network you are creating. And it doesn't really matter whether you are someone who just graduated and the people you have had around you aren't really professionals or real buyers. For anyone you will meet, it doesn't really matter. The reason or the thing which really matters is that you will go out to your first networking meeting, and even if you would decide, okay, whoever I have had around me is irrelevant, at this first event you will meet 1, 2, 5, 10, 50 people who can be buyers for someone else, often for someone who's even in the room on that day. We spoke about this on day 3, where simply when you enter a room, there are many different types of people in it. And often you will have like half of the room who are introverts, who are there for the first time, people who even are there for the second and third time, but because they are really shy, it takes them a long time to establish relationships. So their first and second time, for example, they met only 1 or 2 people and spent the whole evening talking to this person, in order to compensate for their inability to establish relationships with more people in the room. So back to day 1, your network is your net worth, starting from scratch, regardless if you are really graduated or you are changing industry or you have been in your industry for a long period of time but haven't built and nurtured those relationships by design, with a goal on your mind that, okay, these relationships are something I am now committing to. You can do this. So first thing is the mindset, seeing as, okay, I will build this network around myself, which will give me a lot more value. It's the way of increasing your value in the marketplace, because suddenly you represent all of these people who are behind you rather than just yourself. And you
Right.
need to be proud of this, being proud of having all of those people you met, built relationships with. No one else was either willing or able to. And this is the key. The more people are able to put behind you, the bigger the buying power represented in this, the more interesting kind of a person you are for others who haven't done what you did, and what I'm trying to teach you here today. On day 2, we spoke about the most valuable person. The most valuable person in the room, in any room, wherever you are, wherever you go, is the person, is actually not the person who has all of the most valuable contacts, the most amazing relationships with your dream clients or buyers or whoever this is. But the most valuable person for you is the person who is most willing to share the contact he or she has with you and actually bridge your networks. So you are providing the network of relationships you have created and opening it up to someone else who is doing the same thing, opening their network to you, and both of you are tapping into a sum of opportunities which are represented between those two networks. It can even be not a single one of you two will, number one, do business with each other. Not a single neither of you will do business with someone in the other person's network. it actually may be where it all starts, and probably it should start where someone in the other person's network will do business with someone in your network. So the
Absolutely.
outside ends connect first, and this is, as it happens more and more times, it comes closer to you too, and you will start doing business as the last thing. And during the week, we had a number of people with us here who are direct representation of this, where me and this person didn't do business together yet, but people in our networks are already in a thriving collaboration, exchanging, doing business together. It is amazing. It's the validation of a concept. It's the thing which makes this other person you meet instantly an evangelist of yours, a raving fan, because they can see the people they have invested their time and effort into building a relationship with, thriving and doing business with either yourself or someone in your network. Therefore, even before they do business with you, they already promote you wherever they go, and they are evangelizing your message into their network and to anyone they meet. This came to day 3, where we really took a good look under the hood of relationships and what happens in the room. When you are a shy person, your mindset about, okay, you either don't believe in networking, you had a bad experience, and while you understand it may work, you think, okay, it doesn't work for me, because even if I go in there, I am not capable of starting a conversation with someone because I'm just really scared. And I don't blame you for this. I have been that person for years. When I entered the room, spent whole evening there in the deepest, darkest corner of that particular room or somewhere at the bar, and pretended I am not part of this event. I'm just a random stranger, because I was really scared of approaching someone and starting a conversation. So if that's someone like you or someone you know, do not miss the opportunity. Revisit all of these videos, watch it, learn it, and see that it is actually precisely for you. And we talked about what does it need to happen to change your mind about going networking, how to prepare yourself, and have real control of what will happen from first moment you walk into the room till literally days, months, even years after you leave that particular room. So this was day 3. We also looked at the toolkit. What are the tools? Because no job will be complete without proper tools. And yesterday we looked into ways to stay in touch with people, to build the relationships, go way beyond a first contact you will have with someone, and simply build and nurture those relationships via referring, introducing, via providing value to this particular person in order to make them ready to buy from you, or in order to continue on the path of them being sold on you being a solution to a particular problem. The most important thing from yesterday was actually understanding that you may meet someone who loves you as a person, who absolutely loves what you can do or the product you offer, and simply you can say, well, this problem is an ideal buyer. Well, guess what? There's a third thing, the number one problem you will face, and this person is not ready to buy from you yet.
Right.
It's premature. The size of their problem is not big enough for them to call you in. They also understand that before they will get to solve the problem you can solve, there's 2, 3, 4 different problems that need to be resolved first. And if you will miss this opportunity, either by advising the person on, okay, this is the problem, this is the sequence of steps that will take you from where you are today until the moment I am really able to come in and help you directly. By the way, why don't you speak with Tony or Jeff? They can come in, they can help you solve this, move you closer to me. These people would be eternally grateful for doing this. And if you will invest your time and effort into helping them out, you will become the number one trusted advisor, because you have already provided spades of value to this person or business. And when the time comes that they will become ready to buy, they would not even look elsewhere. They don't have a need to shop around, or who can do this cheaper. They would instantly come to you. And this is the essence of relationship building, where you have nurtured and served your prospect in a way and at a level no one else cared. Therefore, you are the only logical next step. Therefore, these people don't care how much you ask for. Even if it's going to be really expensive, they would not see it as expensive because they have been served already. And this is the mind-blowing thing. It's never about the price.
No, it's always about the value with which they hold you and your network. I just want to talk about one extra facet, actually, that we haven't talked about, that I think people miss. Wind it back a bit. We've just had the most tumultuous event to happen in anyone's lives in hundreds of years, a pandemic. And during that time, because it was such a destabilizing event, a lot of people felt very alone. Very alone. What business networking has provided me, and I'm talking from a personal experience, because Peter and I met, I think, shortly before pandemic, and we've become very good friends as well as business associates through it. One thing I realized, and it's only really settled in my brain as being a major benefit, I've built myself a business support network, not just to solve business problems, but people who actually understand some of the stresses and the strains that I feel as a business owner, in a way that, with all due respect, spouses, pub friends, and other people will never understand. And literally, I've been able to ring Peter, friends like Eleri, Victoria, Nick, and so on. I ring them up and say, I'm faced with this, and I just feel like I'm on the cusp of melting down. And they've said, step back, take some. And when they say these things, I know they understand it because they've felt it through. And I think you can't underestimate the value of that side of the networking as well. It's not just building up a series of interlocked business associates who are effectively self-referring and also can recommend. It's more than that. It's kind of like the family of the business family you choose.
Precisely. This is the point I was aiming to put across yesterday. The whole premise of relationships instantly should talk to you on different levels at the same time. There is a professional aspect of the relationship, but isn't it natural after doing business with someone for a very long time, you would become friends?
It would be normal. It would be normal if you went and played football every week with someone for a number of years. after a while, the next logical step is you become friends. If you went and did any activity, you went singing,
Mhm.
or you went walking, you went antiquing, you went exploring, whatever it is, if you're doing a repetitive activity that involves a group of people, after a while, it becomes inevitable that you become intermingled in each other's lives. And I'm afraid
There you go.
business networking is no different. It just so
Yes.
happens that there are occasions in which money will change hands, and that's pretty much all there is to it. But the goal, and I think you've said this already, Peter, it's not really about the money. The goal is always about the relationship. And if you
Precisely.
it's a quote a mid '80s American movie. If you build
Mhm.
it, they will come. You literally, if you keep building the relationship, they will either refer you because they've already trust you as a trusted as
Yes.
you, or they'll know other people who can solve your problem, or they'll
Yeah.
be able to provide advice because they'll have lived it themselves. And this is you can't put a price on that kind of thing.
No, you can't. It's absolutely priceless. This is a rewind to day one. Really making sure you understand what your network is your net worth means. Simply, and this is really a short recap of this. We are growing up in some sort of an environment. It doesn't really matter whether you are someone who is middle class, born like myself, or you've been born in the mud. Doesn't really matter. The only thing that really does matter is your desire to change the environment you have been born into and grow, and go into an environment where you really desire to be. So even if you completely discount the relationships you have built over the years of growing up with your family, friends, neighbors, these relationships are the thing which is like an anchor. It fixes you in the place and in the environment where you have been. If you have a desire to change the environment, there's only one way of doing so. You have to cut ties with the people who are anchoring you in a place, and you have to be around people who are as close as the environment you really want to be. And you may need to do this several times depending on how big the gap is between those environments. So you cannot be someone who, and let's take a story of, all right, you haven't been born with a lot of money, your parents worked their butt off in order to just break even and keep going, and you may become, I don't know, a cleaner. You will take a cleaner job at a yacht, someone who's a billionaire. It's not unusual, but this is not a fast track ticket for you from being in the mud and being in the billionaires world. Because while you are in that world, you are transparent to these people. They don't even see you. However, what is your real opportunity is peel your eyes wide open and ears at the same time and start into looking things. Okay, this is happening, and your instinct will tell you, based on the relationship and based on the scarcity you grew up with, like, oh, this is a waste. Why they are wasting so much money, so much fuel, so much anything. To these people, it's not a waste. They don't see it this way, and you need to understand the way they think in order to close the gap between yourself and them. You would not be able to become one of them until you understand what do they think, why do they think so, and why their actions look so silly to people on the outside. And like literally, there is no financial sense in buying a yacht or buying a private jet. None. Ask any billionaire who did it. From financial perspective, it's a bottomless pit. However, and with the same breath, they will tell you that it's the best investment they have ever made. Why? Because it's a ticket to other people in the same environment or a lot higher than you are, who have twice or three times as long yacht like you are, but you having the ability to anchor yours right next to them gives you the proximity. So they suddenly start seeing the transparent Gareth and Peter and say, oh, he's got a tiny yacht now. Maybe I'm going to give it a few years and see if the size of his yacht doubles. If it does, probably I need to have a word with him. This is the thing. You will get on the radar of other things, of other people doing things they would want to see. And back to what we started with, by them already understanding that doing business with you means you would be around them in their world for extended periods of time, all of them would be really wary of, do I really want this person around? If so, yes, okay, come in and simply do what you need to do, become one of us, help us. They don't mind, even if there's a gap of 2-3 levels between you. If they really like you and they like your ambition, they like the way you think, the thing you want to do, want to achieve, because they see that you achieving your goal will serve them 2-3 years from now. So they are ready and willing to invest their time, their weight into you, so they can get what they really want sometime from now. This is the relationship building. It's not about one-way street. It has to come two ways. And I am a living proof of having two mentors in my life who are a lot further. They've always been a lot further than I ever got. When I just left university, my first mentor was a multimillionaire, probably decamillionaire. My today's mentor is a billionaire. Simply looking at these things, learning from someone who's a lot further down the road, gives you the opportunity to do things and do the transformation you need. So invest in it, be genuine, have the desire to serve other people, so you get a chance of achieving what you want by using someone else's power, wisdom, contacts, anything. But simply this desire has to be genuine, and these people need to see it in order for them to come to a decision. Okay, I want this, I want to help this person now because I like him or her, and I will do anything it takes to bring this person up over time, so they can be efficient at the level where I operate right now.
So I can round all that side up by saying true authenticity is transformative. Yes. And if people who are at a much higher level, you see you as being paper thin and pretending to be something you're not, or showing any kind of chicanery or fakery, they'll have seen it 1,000 times before. If you really want to mix with groups of people who are the high levels than you, they need to see you as they truly are. But that you are hungry to climb up, but not by stepping on other people's heads. They want to see it as honesty.
Totally.
Now, so what I would say is this: we're coming to the end of today's class, which is a shorter one. So I was hoping that, Peter, you could give us some last words to pull this all together, and before we send them all out into the great blue beyond, ready to network with people, give them some words to leave ringing in their ears.
Okay, so take your network is your net worth as a mantra, and really act as you believe it. Commit to it. People who already are where you want to be, they have either done the same, what I am urging and motivating to do over this whole week. They've already done all of these steps. There's nothing special or nothing different I'm trying to preach today than what these people have done and what I have done in the past in order to get me here. So take it, use it, understand it's a long-term process, and these people have either been around for long enough. The wealthiest people on this planet have either been born into a network which has been built and curated by generations of their ancestors, and by them being immersed in it since birth, technically, these people have noticed for all your young years, as you have been going through school, etc. They heard from your parents about you, etc. And they have accepted the idea that you will be in their world for forever, technically, until you will do something to leave. So this is precisely what you need to do. You need to be around people for them to actually accept the idea. You need to be, they need to know you. It's not what you know, who do you know, it's who does know you, like real you. This will take time, and over this time you are working hard to make them believe that you will be a valuable member of their network, of their circle. And if you will succeed in this, nothing's impossible in your life. If you won't, then you really have to look into the mirror and ask yourself, where did I go wrong? So if you've been with us for all 5 days, go back, revisit the recordings. If you've joined us as a VIP, you automatically have them every single day, all of the sessions, including the VIP Q&A after this. If you have not been with us since the beginning of the week, go to businessnetworkingmasterclass.com/VIP. Go and buy the VIP package. It will cost you £97, but I bet this will be the biggest asset and the most impactful investment you will make in your life. Go for VIP, re-watch these things every single day, indulge yourself in this, binge it several times if you need to, and commit to putting all of this into practice. Start doing this and you will start seeing an immediate change. We already have a number of different people who did this, and there's literally transformation overnight. We had Tom here with us for 3 days. He's one of the VIPs. He already sees difference to the point where he is willing to come forward and say, hey, I have been hearing pieces, fragments of information for years. And this is in our yesterday's conversation in the VIP section. He has been hearing pieces of information for years. Only now, after this masterclass, he is able to connect the dots between them and put those missing pieces in between where it finally makes sense to him. So I urge you, go to businessnetworkingmasterclass.com/VIP. Gareth, do we have the banner with the address we can put on the screen so people can take a look at it and don't miss it? And sign up as a VIP. It's £97, but it's absolutely priceless. The whole collection of these recordings and teachings, it's not something I have just pulled out of the thin air. It's literally collection of advice, experience, and wisdom from people who are today in 9 figures.
businessnetworkingmasterclass.com/VIP.
VIP. Yes.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'm just going to scroll that across the bottom. There we go. So business.
Yes, put www.
I don't think you need to actually. As long as you've got it like that, it'll find its way.
Okay.
So businessnetworkingmasterclass.com/VIP. Just remember that the time you spend now to lock this in your mind is going to make the whole of this process so much more relevant. So all that remains for me to say is thank you so much, Peter. I've learned a lot from it. I hope all of you have learned a small soupçon of how much I've learned over the last 5 days. And just be in contact with both of us. I would also say find us both on LinkedIn. I'm Gareth Wax,
Yes.
Many Purple Hats,
Connect with us.
and Peter Russell. Because just by doing that, you're going to kickstart your own networking process.
Precisely. I am doing every single day what I'm preaching right here, right now. Connect to me on LinkedIn. Find me. It's Peter Russell, straight to number 1. Send me a connection request. Hey, I have seen this. I really, really like what you have said. Send me a connection request. Let's get a one-to-one. See how I can help you. Who can I connect you with? My network is now open to everyone, the same way I am teaching you to do. So if you want to build a better network, follow me, connect with me, reach out any way you can, and I'll do anything I can to actually help you make meaningful steps towards 10 times bigger results you can even imagine today.
So until next time, many thanks and goodbye.